What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing well, having a good Thursday evening. Do you know why I'm a little bit late? And I am late today. I am a little bit late. I'm 3 minutes late. You know me. I like to try and be as prompt as possible when it comes to, especially the individual streams. When it's other streams of other people, you can just blame them. I can't even blame KG. He's not in the country at the moment. So I am a little bit late. The reason why I was a little bit late is because I felt like I was playing a game of chicken with Fabrizio Romano, because I'm sitting here in my chair. It's like 10-2, and I'm whipping myself up into a bit of a frenzy. I'm thinking, he's going to post the here we go thing. He's going to post the here we go thing. I'm going to go live. I'll be live for like 2 minutes. And then he'll post the here we go, and I'll have to change everything. I'll have to change the thumbnail. I'll have to change the title. I'll have to do all that kind of stuff. So I thought, I'll just wait. I'll wait. And I'm like you. When I'm meant to be live at like bang on, say 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock, once it gets that number, I start getting like fidgety. I'm sitting here going, 1 minute past, 2 minute past. Oh, you know, it's terrible, isn't it? But we haven't heard it. We have not heard the here we go. We can't force it. If it's not here yet, we cannot talk about a here we go or an Ornstein exclusive when it comes to Lisandro Martinez, because there hasn't been one, which is quite surprising, because when I did the morning show with Marcel this morning, ironically enough, you would do the morning show in the morning, wouldn't you, Owen? Yes, you would. When I did the morning show with Marcel, I was, and I think a lot of people were, under the assumption of this here we go's coming from Romano today about Lisandro Martinez, because late last night it was the deal is imminent. Deal is imminent. Where's the deal? Where's the deal? Oh, but it still is going to get done. There's nothing nefarious about it. There's nothing to worry about. It's just, we just haven't heard it yet. But we will at some point. Maybe we'll hear it once we're live here, when we're chatting about all things Manchester United, all things transfers. We're going to be discussing Frenkie de Jong, latest developments in that ongoing saga. I know when you see Frenkie de Jong in the title, when you see Frenkie de Jong on the thumbnail, when you see fee agreed, or when you see deal close, you do kind of roll your eyes. I think everyone does. But there is a positive step and a negative. There's always a positive and a negative. It's like a battery when you're talking about Frenkie de Jong, isn't it? But there is a positive, there is a negative when it comes to news about Frenkie de Jong and Manchester United getting somewhere, hopefully, when it comes to... If I keep looking down, by the way, that's because I'm waiting for that Romano tweet. every time I look down, it's because I'm thinking that tweet's going to come. So there is some positives and some negatives when it comes to Frenkie de Jong. We're going to be talking about that. We'll talk a little bit about what we know about Lisandro Martinez. Are we going to get any form of announcement? Probably not officially from the club, but from Romano or Ornstein this evening. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, his immediate future, his long-term future. Is it with or without Manchester United? The reason we're going to be talking about that is because he's running out of options, frankly. Chelsea have rejected the opportunity to sign Cristiano Ronaldo this summer, which leaves CR7 without many clubs to go. So he could be returning to Manchester United by proxy of nobody really being interested in signing him. So we're going to talk about that. We will talk about Christian Eriksen. Before I went live, I saw a couple of people asking about Eriksen. What's the latest when it comes to his medical? Melissa Reddy did talk about that earlier today, so we're going to touch on that as well. Plus, we've got some clips. One from the Bangkok, Thailand travel vlog with Flex, KG, and Josh. There's one clip in particular I've brought with me this evening that I think just sums up KG perfectly. You know, I certainly always get questions of, you know, when you see people, because I know I was the same when you watch YouTube videos, you go, there's no way people are like that in real life. And I always say, like, here on the channel, it's 100% genuine. What you see is what you get. And I feel like I have the perfect clip or selection of clips that sum up what it's like to be around KG for about 24 hours or something like that. So we'll talk about, we'll see it and then we'll talk about it. And we've got a little bit of a clip from Flex and KG in Melbourne, inside the stadium in which Manchester United are going to be facing Melbourne Victory tomorrow. They're talking about the centre-back options for Manchester United. So there is plenty to discuss this evening. Super chat already, straight out the gate from Bound for Darry Load. Well, it's always great when I say those ones, isn't it? It says, yo, Owen, hope you're good, man. Yo, back. Again, my street cred is so high. Isn't it? But hope you're good. Hope everyone is doing well. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. We've already got nearly 900 people watching, so we can get the 500 threshold done like that. Thanos snap. We can get it out the way straight away. Just click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. If you do want to join the UV Members Club as well, link is in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your exclusive members-only content as well. So there is plenty of reasons to become a UVMC. Let's talk about Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong, Fabrizio Romano tweeted earlier on today. And whenever you see a Romano tweet come up and the first two words are Manchester United, you brace yourself. As a United fan, you go, oh, here we go, what's going to happen? Romano tweeted, quote, Manchester United have reached full agreement with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong after further talks. Package is worth 85 million euros. The fee is guaranteed around 75 million euros plus add-ons. Personal terms still the issue to be resolved, as Frenkie's priority is to stay at Barcelona, which is curious because this is the same guy that tweeted yesterday or the day before yesterday that this deal is stalling. When it comes to the clubs negotiating with each other, that deal is not stalling. I guess the stumbling block is actually the player and his issues with his current club, not necessarily Manchester United. But there is more to this. David Ornstein also tweeted, we got a double whammy. We got, not here we go, but we got a he loves the club. He loves the club. And we logged on to Ornhub at the same time. It was a great afternoon. I'll move on. Manchester United are in total agreement, this is what Ornstein said, with Barcelona on 75 million euros and 10 million euros in add-ons fee for Frenkie de Jong. Player side is still unresolved in relation to personal terms with Manchester United and deferred wages with FC Barcelona. He continues here, providing some more information about what he means by the personal side of things and the player side of things. Manchester United have agreed to pay Barcelona this guaranteed fee of £63 million. I saw some people saying that the fee had gone up a little bit higher. I mean, I think initially it might have been 56, something like that. Now it's up to 63. We're kind of front-loading it a little bit, which, to be honest, I don't really care that much about. I'd rather get the player. The package is still the same as to what we would be paying to Barcelona anyway. If it can speed up the process, I really don't mind. There is plus £8.47 million in add-ons for Frenkie de Jong. Manchester United now have to convince de Jong to make a move and agree on personal terms. Frenkie de Jong is being owed deferred wages worth 17 million euros, which is stalling the deal to Manchester United. United sent a delegation to Barcelona. Of course, that delegation consisted of Richard Arnold, the Manchester United chief executive, and the football director of Manchester United, one John Murtough, to hold face-to-face talks over the signing of de Jong. This led to a breakthrough in regards to the transfer fee. Now, people had seen that and said, oh, it's the opposite, here we go. The here we go of he doesn't want to come to the club. We know he doesn't want to come to the club. He doesn't want to leave Barcelona. He doesn't want to join Manchester United. Why are we going after a player that doesn't want to join us? Why are we going after a player that doesn't want to leave? That was very loud on social media today. Melissa Reddy from Sky Sports has reported that Manchester United have actually dismissed this talk, suggesting Frenkie de Jong does not want to move to Old Trafford. A basic agreement of around 72 million, including extras, is in place for the Barcelona midfielder. And this is the key crux of it. This comes from Miguel Delaney, of course, from The Independent, who has said that Frenkie de Jong has told Erik ten Hag he is willing to go to Manchester United. However, the matter of sorting his deferred wages at Barcelona is a fair point of principle to the midfielder. That's the key thing there. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, because I know I've, for the last 2 or 3 days, gone on continuous rants over and over again about Barcelona and Frenkie de Jong and their finances and this, that, and the other. And the more I hear about this, right, the more I hear about Frenkie de Jong and the situation that's going on with him at Barcelona, the money he's owed, I don't blame him. I honestly cannot blame him. A friend of mine messaged me earlier on. He saw the Ornstein tweet and he sent it to me and he said, what's going on? Because obviously he was a Chelsea fan, so he don't follow the minutiae of Manchester United like you or I do. And he said, what's going on here? What does he not want to join? And I said, it's more complicated than that. And you think about it. Most transfers, you negotiate with the club, you negotiate with the player, that's it. Manchester United have got 4 negotiating points for this Frenkie de Jong deal. They had to negotiate the initial fee. Then they had to negotiate the add-ons. Then they're having to negotiate with the player. On top of that, they're then having to have the player negotiate with Barcelona. There's 4 different points of negotiations that Manchester United are having to deal with, and a couple of them aren't even in their hands. They're out of their control. Manchester United at this point have pretty much done everything they can do. They've agreed a fee. They've agreed the add-ons. The player, this is the point of contention, the player would be open to joining Manchester United, but the key thing that's holding this deal up, i.e. Frenkie de Jong's relationship with Barcelona, that's the problem. And United can't really do anything about that, and it's Barcelona's problem. It's Barcelona's poor financial management. It's Barcelona's poor handling of the players. It's Barcelona's poor handling of their finances for the past however many years. And again, I say it over and over and over again, but put yourself in Frenkie de Jong's shoes. I know people will say, well, he's a millionaire anyway. He's on massive wages. Just write it off. 20 million. Just forget about it. You know, I don't know why I got into that kind of accent, but just forget about it and come to Manchester United. Forgo that 20 million and join up with Erik ten Hag. But if you're Frankie, no. Get your money. Absolutely get your money. Get what's owed to you. Don't be a pushover. Don't be pushed around by the club that you love, your dream club. Can you imagine the situation that he's in? It's always been his dream to play for Barcelona. It's always been his dream to be a Barcelona player. He gets his dream move. He's on a massive contract. And they go, look, the pandemic's happening. Everyone's taking a pay cut. You go, okay, look, fine. It's an unprecedented situation. I get that. Next year, they do the same. They go, look, we take a pay cut. Don't worry, though. It's not taking a pay cut and you're never going to see that money again. It's taken a pay cut the last few years. But we'll get that money back to you. You know, that those wages, they'll come back. Don't worry about that. We'll pay you back. We owe you. Don't worry. We owe you, but we'll get you that money back. Third year, they go, look, money's still a bit tight. And you go, look, yeah, I know money's a little bit tight. I've deferred my wages the last 2 years. Of course I'm aware that money's a little bit tight. It is what it is. And they go, yeah, if you do want to stay, you'll have to take a pay cut. And you go, oh, I mean, I guess I will have to take a pay cut then. And as he's just about to take it, he goes, who's that? Is that Christensen? Yeah, free transfer. And he's on decent wages, is he? Yeah. It's weird. Who's that? It's Frank Kessie. What's he on? He's on decent wages. Yeah, free transfer. Who is that? Rafinha. It's like David Brent. What are you doing here? Rafinha, 72 million euros, you taking the piss. You owe me 20. You owe me 20 million euros and you're shelling out 72 million for Rafinha. That money came out of nowhere. So don't sit here and tell me we don't have the money. Or don't sit here and tell me, oh, you have to take a pay cut to stay. It's just bizarre. And again, if I was Frenkie de Jong, I would sit there with my agent. And this is what his agent has said to Barcelona, him and de Jong. I'm not going to leave and I want my money back. I'm not taking a pay cut. And it's essentially a game of chicken. In reality, when you sift through all of that, you see what the real issue is. The crux of the issue is, pay me what I'm owed, and then I'll leave. If you can give me the money I'm owed, then I'll come off the books for good. And then you can get your signings. Otherwise, I will stay here. You will continue to owe me money. I'll continue to get paid my normal contract, which is massive, by the way. I'm not taking a pay cut this year. You won't be able to register your signings, and you're going to be even more financially in the hole than you already are. And that's the problem. And unfortunately, United just have to sit there and wait for that to get resolved. And maybe they can encourage Frenkie de Jong. Maybe they can have their personal terms agreed with the player, which, by the way, it's been widely reported that won't be a problem. It's not going to be an issue of finances of signing Frenkie de Jong for his wage when he comes to Old Trafford. That's not going to be a problem at all. It's about getting what's owed to him. And as the report mentioned, as Miguel Delaney said from The Independent, it's a matter of principle. I've taken a pay cut 2 years in a row. I want what's owed to me, and I don't want to be messed around because I'm being treated just horrendously. You know, and as Brian says here, and they want Lewandowski. Exactly. They're putting bids in for players, and at the same time saying to Frankie, you got to take a pay cut to stay. Well, no, I don't. No, I don't have to do anything, is basically what he's saying. So that's the crux of the issue. And as I said this morning, I'm still very confident that Frenkie de Jong will sign for Manchester United. I'm still very confident he'll become a Manchester United player. I really do dismiss, like the club do, like Melissa Reddy said, this idea, this notion that he doesn't want to join Manchester United. People, I think, are misinterpreting what is being said. He doesn't want to leave Barcelona. He goes, I don't want to leave Barcelona. That's different from I don't want to join Manchester United. That's, I don't want to leave Barcelona. Why don't you want to leave Barcelona? Because if I leave Barcelona, I don't know if I'm ever going to see that money that I'm owed. Because one, I've been messed around by the club. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. I'm not going to get fooled again, as the Who would say. Why would I walk away and just assume you're going to pay me back? Even if Barcelona, in writing, said to Frenkie de Jong, we're going to give you that 20 million euros at some point, even if they put it in writing, I still wouldn't believe that they would give it to me. I wouldn't. I'd say, give it to me now. Because I can't trust you. Why can't I trust you at all? So I don't blame him, but it would appear certainly the foundations for this deal are there, but constructing this move, it's been more delayed than the Wembley Stadium, isn't it? Do you remember how long that took? It was ridiculous. Or Spurs' stadium, and that had all the leaks and the floods and all that kind of stuff. I'm going off point. But unfortunately, again, this is going to be, it's the saga that's been our saga in the transfer window, and it will continue to be our saga. Eventually, it will get resolved, because when you do think about it, when you take a step back and think logically, eventually Barca have to budge. They have to. If they want to register their players, if they want to register these big signings that they're doing, they have to budge, or they have to come up with another solution. Financial levers be damned, that's hypothetical money at this point. They still have to actually sell those off to people. They've agreed that they're going to do it. Have they actually got any takers at this point? When's that money even going to come in? They need the money now. They need the money now, and they've got a bidder. They've got a payer in Manchester United, but they've got a player that's also owed money. And that's not money that Manchester United should give to Barcelona to give back to Frenkie de Jong. It's not. And everyone in the club, Barcelona-wise, knows exactly what the situation is with Frenkie de Jong. They need to sell him. And you can have Laporta coming out, and this is why at the time I said he's full of it, because he came up, we've got no intention of selling Frenkie de Jong. They negotiated with Man United at the time, they negotiated the next day. There's an agreement reached. That's the situation. So again, I guess it's a step forward, certainly in this Frenkie de Jong saga, in the sense of there's no longer an issue when it comes to the fees. It's no longer an issue when it comes to, because it was initially, we're negotiating a fee, Barca want X amount. We got that broad agreement. Then they said, it's an issue of add-ons. We've sorted the add-ons, but it's this deferred wages. And I suppose to the club's credit, it was reported, 3 weeks ago? Maybe a month ago. At least I think about three or so weeks ago, it was reported, and you would think the club really put this out there. Yes, we've got this broad agreement, but it's very, very complicated. And the complication lies with the player's contract. And at the time, we didn't really know what was meant by that. We went, is it like an agent thing? Is that the thing? They went, no, it's this amount that he's owed. It's trying to buy a player from Barcelona, and it makes you wonder, doesn't it, anyone when they're going to try and buy players from Barcelona in the future. If you want to buy a player from Barca in the future, any player essentially has to write off all this money that they're owed. And that's the problem. And again, unfortunately, Manchester United find themselves in the middle of all of that mess. We've got over 1,500 people watching. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Let's do a like check. Let's check how many likes we've got. Only 316. Austin 316 said, I just whooped your ass. That's tremendous. I mean, I couldn't have looked at it at a better time. 316. I'd drink a beer and say hell yeah and shave my head, but that would be quite dramatic for a Thursday evening transfer stream, to be honest. Ryan G said, Murto said it was complicated. It's very true. That's exactly what he said. And it's true, and it is very much true. So it's just going to rumble on, unfortunately. But I look at today's development as a positive development. It's slow. It's tedious. Maybe the best thing to do, like I said, because when you do see, the fee agreed, you do roll your eyes. If that is you, the best thing maybe to do is step away, which is not probably the best thing for me to say. Don't watch. But maybe that's what you've got to do. Or when it comes to social media, you have to take a step back, because when it's drip, 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 eventually it will drive you absolutely insane. There's no doubt about that. Lisandro Martinez, as I mentioned at the top of the stream, I was assuming that when I went live this evening at about 6 p.m, I would be doing a Lisandro Martinez Here We Go stream. I was almost certain, if I was a gambling man, I'd have put decent money on Lisandro Martinez being not announced as a United player, but certainly getting that Romano Here We Go or Ornstein exclusive by this point. But we haven't. I don't know why, because last night it was imminent, and this morning it was imminent, and personal terms with the player have been agreed. The overall fee has been agreed when it comes to the initial fee and the add-ons with Ajax. the structure of the deal in terms of how much he's going to get paid up front and how the installments are going to work up front, etc. That was the thing that was being negotiated today, or the meetings were going to happen today, but we've still yet to actually hear anything about that. So we're still waiting, and that still could happen. And obviously, if it does happen, I will go live later on. You know me, dedication to the cause. But a little bit of an update when it comes to Lisandro Martinez. Mike Verwij, of course, great Dutch journalist, has said that Lisandro Martinez was not welcome. It seems very firm, this, isn't it? Was not welcome on the training pitch at Ajax today in anticipation of the transfer to Manchester United. Ajax do not want to take any risks. Martinez worked out his own program in the gym. This comes from Samuel Lucas and Dominic Booth from the Manchester Evening News. Manchester United want to sign Lisandro Martinez in time for him to join the squad in Australia on Tuesday. They are expected to meet Ajax's £46 million valuation. It was also reported by TalkSport that Manchester United have submitted that offer of £46 million and it has been accepted by Ajax. So that's around the price that Manchester United are going for. For Martinez to join the squad on Tuesday, bear in mind, he'd be flying out from Europe, so that's a heck of a flight as well. I'm just thinking of when that has to actually get officially announced. If he's to fly out on Tuesday, that announcement has to happen, Monday? At the very latest? It's Thursday today. If we're assuming we're going to get a here we go tonight, maybe that official announcement happens Friday. I mean, the game's tomorrow. It would be a perfect sort of announcement before the game starts or after the game starts. I mean, we did the same thing with Rafael Varane on the first day of last season, didn't we? Varane was officially announced just minutes before we played Leeds at Old Trafford in the opening game of the season. Maybe it would be a similar thing like that. Maybe tomorrow, kickoff tomorrow is at 11:05 our time, British summer time over here in the UK. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe we get the here we go this evening, and maybe it gets announced officially by Manchester United tomorrow morning. Maybe it gets announced on Saturday. But for him to join the squad in Australia, he has to fly out at the very least early Monday, and to be training with the squad. Talk about jet lag. I mean, I know you sleep and all that kind of stuff, but that is still. It would have to get. I'm just trying to think. It would have to get announced. It's like Sunday, maybe. So we are going to get, we know that here we go announcement, I thought today, but maybe tomorrow. But nevertheless, the expectation is that he will be part of the Manchester United squad in Australia next week. And as I mentioned, that 46 million bid, it's reported that has been accepted. That's coming from TalkSport. We'll have to wait and see. I did want to play a clip, though, because if you haven't seen it, Flex and KG did a fantastic match preview talking about Manchester United's second pre-season fixture in Melbourne tomorrow against Melbourne Victory. And they did touch on Lisandro Martinez and what it does actually mean for the centre-backs at Manchester United. We've got a lot of them, right? You've got Harry Maguire, who we know is going to be playing tomorrow, well, at least a half. You've got Bailly, you've got Varane, you've got Lindelof, you've got Twansibi, you've got Mengi, Phil Jones. We've got at least 7 or 8 centre-backs, and Martinez, that makes 8. So they were discussing what it means for the centre-back options, who's going to leave, who's going to play. Check it out and let me know your thoughts.
You say to yourself, I don't know when this video comes out, Martinez might have already been done. Now you say to yourself, Varane, Martinez,
you see, that's the thing about it. It's like, if Martinez does come, Lindelof, yeah. I know it's only one game, but when you just look at his game,
yeah,
I think it suits Ten Hag. I really do like you look at the type of centre back we're trying to bring in. Someone who's good on the ball, comfortable. I know he's quite aggressive and a bit different in stature, Martinez, but he's comfortable on the ball, and I just feel like Lindelof is giving off. I don't know. I got a feeling there's something that I just feel that he's just giving off a good vibe, and that his style of play will really help him. But when you think about it, and this is back to Eric Bailly, I'm like, I just don't know how it happens. Yeah. He can always come in and give us those things, and it was so refreshing. But it's like, Maguire's the captain, so let's just say he's starting every game.
Yeah.
Varane.
Well, you don't know.
Well, we don't. Okay, all right, cool. We don't know because of Martinez.
Because the Martinez thing. It's the how much we put into this deal.
Right, but again, and Varane, but that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is Bailly then. That's what I'm saying. So Martinez, Varane, Lindelof. Bailly's still going to be
sure. Varane for me feels like a sure starter though. If he's here, if he's fit, you don't leave a Varane on it, bro. Leave a Varane on the bench? I agree. So what? Martinez and Varane then. And then it's Lindelof sitting, and it's Bailly sitting. There you go. Again, there's a lot of games.
And it's Maguire sitting.
We got I believe potentially.
No, man. It all depends. It all depends for me on
output.
Output, and if he keeps him as captain. Like, I think if he makes it, he said he's the captain, and I get why he said it. But you can't. No, but you still can't come and say he's the captain and he ain't starting the games.
Oh well,
can't do that.
Well, like,
I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying that
because the captain when available. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's available, bro.
I'm saying he's the captain when available.
Bro. They said who's the captain. Yeah. He said Harry Maguire's going to remain as the captain.
Okay.
If he's saying that and sticking by that, if he's not there, that's different. But going forward, he's going to have to say, he's going to have to start most of the games if he sticks by him as the captain. Because all that's going to happen is, it's going to make the circus of why is the captain not starting.
What a nice stadium that is, by the way, as well. I was watching that then. I was just thinking that's a nice stadium, isn't it? I mean, if you go watch the full match preview, we kick it off with an amazing drone shot. Josh with the drone out there. I mean, Josh is just a genius, let's be honest. The guy is television level, movie level quality for some of these match day vlogs and tour vlogs. They're incredible. So if you haven't watched them out, you are missing out. Go and watch them. But we start off with a drone shot for that video, and it's incredible. It's a real nice stadium. I'm a fan of it. But what I thought the conversation they were having, that's why I pulled that clip, is it's really interesting because to KG's point, we kind of don't know, do we? We don't really know what that centre-back partnership really does look like. We don't know what that centre-back partnership is going to look like. The logic would suggest if you're spending 40, 50 million on a centre-back, on a defender from Ajax, he's got to be a starter, right? To buy a player for that amount of money, you don't have him on the bench every single time, to KG's point. And then you go, well, who's going to be his partner? The issue is maybe the ideal partner for him, i.e. Rafael Varane, consistency. How much is he going to be available? The best quality that Harry Maguire's got is he is available. And as Flex says, if Maguire doesn't play, it becomes an even bigger circus of, oh, it's the Manchester United captain. Why isn't he playing? Why is the Manchester United captain on the bench? What's going on there? Why did Ten Hag name him as the captain? So it is a bit of a strange dilemma. I've said multiple times that the longest that we've been linked to Lisandro Martinez, that if we're buying him, it's for him to play. He will be our first choice centre-back. Under Erik Ten Hag, I absolutely believe he'll be our first choice centre-back. Because that's how Erik Ten Hag wants to play. He wants his defenders to play out from the back. He wants his defenders to take the ball off the goalkeeper and do things with it. And he knows that Martinez is consistent enough to do that. I think his injury record's fine. And he knows he's very good with the ball at his feet. I do think he's multifunctional as well. That's why he's also very interested, because we're not going to get that central defensive midfielder this summer. So if push comes to shove and it gets really bad at points in the season of we really need that CDM, Martinez can get into that role as well. But you would think that Frenkie de Jong is going to be playing deeper too, not that he's a defensive midfielder. So he provides you with options. But let me know in the chat, who do you think is going to be, let's say Martinez is going to be the starting centre-back, who do you think is going to be his partner? Because it is curious, and I guess there are going to be defenders they have to leave. We've got too many of them. Eric Bailly, despite his impressive performance at Liverpool, he's still on the transfer list as far as we're aware, and one good 45 minutes shouldn't, I guess, sway our heads too much, knowing that, again, he's going to get injured at some point. He's been at the club for over 6 years. He's barely played over 100 games. I think it was like 113. Me and DJ found out the other morning. That's incredible. That is incredible. In 6 years, all comps, by the way, we're not talking about Premier League, all comps, just over 100 games. That's absolutely wild. Super Chat here says, apart from ex-Ten Hag players, are we scouting anyone else? Well, it depends what reports you believe, I guess. You know, Eriksen didn't technically play under Ten Hag, trained under him. I mean, it's a reach. I know it's a reach. Malacia wasn't a Ten Hag player, of course. But I get your point. That is a concern. That is a concern, certainly. We've got nearly 1,800 people watching. I think we're already on 500 likes. Let's see if we can get to 600. Amazing support this evening. Really appreciate everyone tuning in. I do want to talk about Ronaldo, of course. Big story when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo today. I know we've been talking a lot about Ronaldo recently, and we spoke this morning, actually, about Cristiano Ronaldo, myself and Marcel, talking about when does him being offered around to so many clubs, well, I say so many clubs, him being offered so transparently and being offered so blatantly to your Bayern Munich, to your Chelsea, to your PSG, when has that line been stepped over where you go, this is quite disrespectful now, you're still a Manchester United player. I understand your desires to leave, but you know, you're flaunting yourself to everyone. If we're in a relationship, you're throwing yourselves at other people. I'm like, hey, we're still married. What's going on here, Cristiano? That's what it kind of feels like, doesn't it? So obviously there was lots of links to Chelsea, and it felt like if he was going to go anywhere, it was going to be Chelsea, which, again, I could never really wrap my head around. The idea of us selling him to another Premier League club just kind of felt a bit wild. Him playing for another in the Premier League, he could scoring against us or whatever. But I felt like that was the only place that realistically he was going to go to, because these other big European clubs, like Bayern Munich, had kind of pulled away publicly, and Chelsea was the only club that hadn't publicly done so yet. But Chelsea have joined that list. Chelsea have joined the list of Bayern Munich. They've joined the list of PSG that have said no to CR7. It was reported by Fabrizio Romano earlier today that Thomas Tuchel has decided against Cristiano Ronaldo signing this summer as things stand. George Mendes had talks with Todd Boehly, of course the new Chelsea owner, but the final decision has always been up to the manager. Chelsea are now focused on different deals. Tuchel isn't keen on signing Ronaldo. Then it's been widely reported and picked up by basically every other outlet, very reputable stuff. Simon Johnson, who is the Chelsea correspondent for The Athletic, has said that Chelsea have decided against any attempt to sign Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United. It was reported in The Times by Tom Roddy also that Chelsea are no longer interested in Cristiano Ronaldo following talks between Thomas Tuchel and Todd Boehly. Bayern Munich, according to Matteo Marotto, which is an Italian-based journalist, Bayern Munich remain a possibility for Ronaldo, but they have not given any concrete signs. I honestly really doubt that Bayern are a credible pursuer for Cristiano Ronaldo. I've said before that I think the Bayern Munich move makes the most sense, honestly, because when you think about it, why does Cristiano Ronaldo want to leave? He wants to leave because he wants to win things and he doesn't think there's ambition left in the club. You think Bayern Munich is the perfect move for him right now, because he will go to Bayern Munich, he'll play pretty much every game, most of which Bayern will win. They will win the Bundesliga this season, unless something catastrophically goes wrong. They will win the Bundesliga like they do 9 times out of 10, most of the time. They'll win the Bundesliga, they'll win the Cup, they might have a decent Champions League run. They've signed Mane. He'll score a ton of goals as well, because Bayern Munich are clearly ahead of every team in the Bundesliga. So he'll score 25, 30 goals. There'll be a discussion of, look at this renaissance for Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe one more Ballon d'Or. Because he won the league title. He won the Bundesliga, and they go to the semi-final of the Champions League, and we know what he can do in the Champions League. Look what he did in the Champions League for us last season. He dragged us through the group stage. Imagine what he could do at a decent side like Bayern Munich. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, that move. The issue is, of course, that Bayern Munich, Oliver Kahn, the CEO of Bayern Munich, came out and said, we're not interested. He doesn't fit the profile of what we're looking for. Now, that could change, of course, if the Lewandowski deal happens. I was always under the assumption, I know they're different players, it must be said. I know Mane is a different player to Lewandowski, but I was always kind of under the assumption that the Mane deal was like, oh, just in case Lewandowski goes. But I suppose it does feel a bit like for like-ish of letting your sort of star talismanic striker go, older talismanic striker go, and having him replaced by another, large legendary striker as well that's going to score a ton of goals. That does make a lot of sense. The issue is the club has to want to buy him. And Ronaldo, at this point, I feel like has run out of options. There's been these reports about a Saudi club that's been in for Ronaldo. I think it was reported in Portugal yesterday. It was reported today that this Saudi club would have paid Manchester United, I think, 30 million euros, and they would have given him something ridiculous, like I think it was 270 million euros over 2 years in terms of wages. But Ronaldo reportedly has rejected this because that one would just be taking the mick. That one would be making a mockery of his desire to leave. If his desires to leave Manchester United were based around, I want to win trophies, I want to win league titles, I want to win the Champions League, you wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia. I don't think it's a case of money when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's not happy about some of the financial aspects at Manchester United. He's not happy that his salary got chopped 25% off because we didn't qualify for the Champions League last season. I think that's just salt in the wound, though, to be honest. I think he's more annoyed that we're not in the Champions League. I think he's more annoyed that we're not challenging for titles. I think he's more annoyed that we're not going to be challenging for titles this season or next season or possibly the season after. And then after all of that, he's already frustrated and going, man, this club, I thought I was going to come here and I was going to be the gold dust that could maybe win Manchester United a trophy. And they go, oh, by the way, also your salary's cut 25% because we're that shit. That is salt in the wound, is what that is. So I don't think it's a question of finances when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. But he's run out of options. He's run out of options, and unless Bayern do change their mind, and they might. Again, depends on this Lewandowski situation. If Lewandowski does go to Barcelona, then maybe they will panic and think we need that big marquee signing. Maybe they will go after Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe that's what they'll do. But publicly, they've said they're not going to do that. Now, again, publicly, I roll my eyes at lots of things nowadays because you've got Laporte saying publicly they're not going to sell Frenkie de Jong. Meanwhile, they're negotiating. So don't trust football CEOs most of the time, let's be honest. However, I would say that Bayern Munich are pretty transparent in the way they operate, and especially in the transfer market too. That's probably fair. But I suppose, look, this is the same club that Hansi Flick won everything in the space of 18 months. He literally won everything. He had this most unbelievable win record, and even he left that club because he wasn't happy with the way he was being treated by their executives and their board as well. Anything's possible in football, so they might change their mind about Cristiano Ronaldo. But it would appear he's run out of options, or he's running out of options. And this was an interesting point I saw on Twitter, when does it come to the point where the CR7 brand is almost being damaged? It is kind of wild. We're talking about one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player ever, and nobody wants him. We want him, but nobody, none of these big clubs that, in days gone by would have absolutely snapped him up. No one wants to do that anymore because he's older and his wages are big, and it's just not the right time. It would be maybe a bit different if he was a free agent. Maybe that would be something they would be willing to take a punt on, but they're not, because the situation is what it is when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. So he's seemingly running out of options, which plays into United's hands. I've said quite a few times before, my feeling has been, publicly, United have always said he's not for sale. Ten Hag said it this morning in the press conference. He said it in the press conference previously. He's not for sale. We don't want to get rid of him. Privately, it was a little bit like, well, he might be for sale if the right bid comes in. But they know deep down. And think if you're Richard Arnold. You get this request through. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave. Richard Arnold says, okay, we'll let you leave if the right bid comes in. Bear in mind, he knows the whole time there ain't a bid coming in because there isn't a club that wants him right now. All of these clubs it's not as if people are chasing Cristiano Ronaldo as well. His agent is actively going and knocking on doors. He's cold calling. He's knocking on the doors of all these clubs saying, would you be interested? It's not as if clubs are approaching Manchester United. So Richard Arnold knows that. So there was a report the other day, I think it was from Duncan Castles, who's got close ties to George Mendes, was they're very happy with the way that Richard Arnold has handled this situation. Of course they are. Because he's like going, okay, well, we'll see what there is. There isn't anything. There isn't anything. And as I mentioned this morning, I want Cristiano Ronaldo to stay. He will score 20, 25 goals for Manchester United in all comps this season. That's what he does. But where is that line of you were going around actively pitching yourself to a lot of clubs, and not just clubs based in Europe, based across Europe as well. In England, Chelsea, you really wanted to go to Chelsea. You're still a Manchester United player at the end of the day. There's still got to be some sort of etiquette involved here. You do have a contract for a reason, do you not? And that, I don't know, I still really haven't made my mind up how I actually feel about that, to be honest with you. Because deep down, it doesn't still sit completely right. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand his reasons for wanting to leave. I question as to why he came to his decision now. You would have realised Manchester United were in the mud a long time ago. And you'd have realised that Manchester United weren't going to qualify for the Champions League a long time ago. If that's the crux of your issues, then maybe you should have made that known a lot earlier. And people that are saying, well, he gave Manchester United and the Glazers the benefit of the doubt to see what they were going to do in June. We were never, ever, ever, let's be honest and realistic here, we were never going to completely turn around our fortunes and by the end of June going to have a squad of players that was going to compete for the Premier League or qualify for the Champions League this season. That was just never going to happen. Who were we going to go out and sign? Oh yeah, we were going to sign Erling Haaland. Yeah, that was going to happen. No, of course it wasn't. Darwin Núñez, we were involved. Once Liverpool came in, we're not winning that race because that's where we are at the moment. And who knows what that will look like. So I don't really buy that. I buy that he's worried about us not being ambitious enough and winning things. And that is a fair point. You can't deny that. But if there's nobody interested, you have to just put your head down and go, well, that was embarrassing. But I'm a United player and I do everything I can for the club. And that's not to say that he won't. And maybe it is a bit more complicated by the fact that he's not with the group of players at the moment because of the personal issues. Maybe that's part of the thing. Maybe that complicates matters, and I'm sure it does, let's be honest. But eventually you have to draw a line in the sand. He does certainly as well, and goes, well, okay, I guess I'm staying. You know, not out of any will of my own, but more so because people aren't coming after me, and that's the situation. He has tweeted, by the way, as well. I say he, I mean, it's, probably his team. But he's tweeted hard work and a picture of him in the gym on the lat pull down machine with the sort of row bar like that. People are saying he's wearing Manchester United shorts. I mean, who cares? Really, people are probably looking a little bit too much more into that one. What was interesting though with the tweet is the last time he tweeted before this was June 24. And the first story about Ronaldo wanting to leave or Ronaldo wanting out was on June 25th. Look into that how you will. I mean, there were some Instagram posts during that period of time. I mean, I don't really like looking into like the history of social media posts on a profile as well. If anything, it's quite silly, really, when you think about it. But hey, it's something to look into as well. But as time goes on, it looks like Ronaldo's going to be a United player. He's not going to be on tour. That must be said as well. He's not going to be on tour. And there's no point, I guess, at this point of him going out on tour. Whether he'll play in the game, say, in Oslo or the game the following day, he's not going to play in both, but whether he plays in one of them remains to be seen. Maybe he'll play at Old Trafford against Rayo Vallecano at the end of the month. You would think he has to play in some preseason games before the season, because otherwise he's going to be miles off it when it comes to the fitness as well. So the Ronaldo situation, my feeling is that a pin's going to have to be put in it relatively soon, because what we're going to do, completely keep going after people, other clubs, so keep cold calling, knocking on doors. I don't know. Super chat from Red Baron. It says here, have you seen those reports in that Ronaldo makes the whole team score less? So people say he scored a lot of goals last year, but other players dry up. I've seen what you're referencing, the stat whereby the season prior, where he wasn't in the team, we scored more goals last season. Whilst he scored a lot of goals, the rest of the players didn't. Look, when Cristiano Ronaldo is in any side, people score less goals. Ronaldo scores a lot of goals, but people around him score less goals. It's just facts. People have to sacrifice something to play with Cristiano Ronaldo. That's always been the way. Look at Benzema is the best example. For years at Real Madrid, he still scored goals, don't get me wrong, but his main functional objective was to serve Cristiano Ronaldo, was to support Cristiano Ronaldo. Even playing as a striker, initially, Benzema, his role was to support Cristiano Ronaldo and make sure Ronaldo scored tons of goals, because that's what Cristiano Ronaldo did. And then once Ronaldo moved centrally, again, it became sort of a 4-4-2 thing. But again, his priority was to give Ronaldo the ball, assist Ronaldo, make sure Ronaldo scored goals, because Cristiano Ronaldo scores goals. Look at Benzema now. He might as well be a different player. He might as well be a different player, because he's scoring goals in key moments and he's leading the line more than he did under Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just that's just how it works with Cristiano Ronaldo in the side. So, of course, people around him were going to score less goals. Of course, Bruno Fernandes was going to score less goals when Cristiano Ronaldo was in the side. He wasn't going to be the same Bruno that he was when Ronaldo wasn't there, because Bruno under Oli, when, say, the season prior, was basically playing as a striker. That's not going to happen with Cristiano Ronaldo there, because Ronaldo leads the line. So I think that it's the balancing act, isn't it, when you sign Ronaldo? It's you balance up, he's going to be scoring these goals, but it takes away something else. But his goals are worth weight in gold because he's consistent and you can rely on them. And even last season, in the worst season, he still scored a ton of goals. I'm interested to see how he would fit in the Erik ten Hag system after watching that game against Liverpool, and that front three in the first half particularly was so fluid, really fluid, and the press was very intense. That's not to say Ronaldo can't press. I'm not going to be in that kind of myth or anything like that. But that fluidity is going to be quite curious to see as well. But that's not to say it can't work. Erik ten Hag is a very competent and capable coach. I'm sure he'll be able to find a solution. And as Ten Hag has said several times, Ronaldo is there to score goals. That is what Erik ten Hag expects out of him, is to score goals. And I think everyone expects Ronaldo to score goals. He's a striker. That's kind of the job. It's like the Harry Redknapp principle, isn't it? Where he signed a striker and they said, can I have a goal bonus? And he said, what do you think we're signing you for? Oh, yeah, we're signing you to pack your lunch and come in. No, of course not. You're here to score goals. That is your functional role. So that's what Ronaldo is meant to do. Super chat from Kyle says, CR7 came in as a striker. He's supposed to score more. Oh, there you go. He's supposed to score goals. briefly, I do want to talk about Christian Eriksen before we wrap things up here, guys. Still got over 1,800 people watching. Man, how many likes have we got? We're flying this evening, folks. 661. I mean, we're less than 50, actually less than 40, away from 700. See if we can get 700 likes live. That would be incredible. Red Baron says, I think the report stated that the teams he is involved with, the team scores less overall. Ten Hag's system, I would imagine, involves everyone. But that's kind of what I was touching on there, wasn't it, a little bit? It'll be interesting to see how he does slot in to that Erik Ten Hag system and that fluid front three. If Ten Hag might adopt or adapt things slightly to fit Ronaldo in. And if there's ever a player that's worth doing it for, it would be Ronaldo. I think Ten Hag would be more than aware of that as well. So that is an interesting one. And I'm sure Ten Hag is aware of what he wants to do with Cristiano Ronaldo as well, when he indeed does come back, if he comes back. Christian Eriksen, yes, before we started, I did see some people talking about what's going on with Eriksen. And I think there's a tweet that's gone a bit viral over social media talking about what happened. Well, what's happened with Christian Eriksen? It's gone very quiet. What's going on with Christian Eriksen? Well, Melissa Reddy has reported that Christian Eriksen is expected to fly in upon completion of a medical to ratify his 3-year contract with Manchester United, and he will join up with them for their pre-season tour. So it doesn't say whether Eriksen is undergoing his medical as we speak. We know that his medical is going to be more stringent and more intense than maybe your average medical, for obvious reasons. Of course, he did suffer cardiac arrest last year during the Euros and has made an incredible comeback since then. But Manchester United want to make sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed when it comes to Eriksen. So we don't know if he's actually undergoing the medical. We don't know what's going on with stuff like that. I've seen rumours saying he's failed his medical. I don't see why. I mean, I don't really know why he would. Manchester United would surely be aware of what any issues that he has or anything like that. And make no mistake, he still underwent. Before he even started playing football again, he underwent a battery of tests to even see if he was able to come back. Because why would he risk it? Why would his family want him to risk it? So I'm not particularly worried about that. I'm just. I think it's just a bit frustrating that it's taken a bit long. I'm not really sure why it has taken that long, but I guess again because maybe it's a bit complex because of his medical history. But as the report says for Melissa Reddy, he's expected to fly in to Australia upon completion of his medical. So it would imply that he's going to be out there hopefully next week, right? That would be the hope, that he's going to be out there next week. And again, a bit like the Lisandro Martinez situation. If he's going to be out there next week, then we would be expecting some kind of Eriksen announcement. I mean, we've already got the here we go, so we're waiting for this official Manchester United announcement, really, aren't we? So whether that's, I don't think it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it's Sunday. I don't know. Maybe it's Monday. We don't know when he's due to fly out there next week, but we'll wait and see when it comes to that. But as Lucky Singh there said, it's a 3-year contract as well, which I was quite surprised about. 3-year contract is longer than I thought. I thought it'd be a year plus an extra year. But again, I suppose we do have to realise that this is a guy that's still 31. So is a 3-year contract completely out of the norm? I'm not really sure if that's completely out of the norm. I mean, I've been criticised before. We're talking about players that are older and people say, Owen, players don't just get rubbish after 31 or anything like that. And it's true. And especially a player like Eriksen, I could almost see him getting better as he gets older as well, because I see him getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And with his technical ability, who's to say that when he's 36, 37, he's not tremendous as well? People are talking about Luka Modric. I don't know if he's the same level as Luka Modric, but who's to say he can't be a similar level to that as he gets older as well? It just keeps going into a deeper and deeper and deeper role. Whether it's like a Pirlo or a Scholes-esque kind of situation. So I'm not too concerned about Christian Eriksen. I'm not concerned about that. Finally, though, I do want to talk about KG, that comedian, before we wrap things up. Now, I get a lot of people asking me about KG. When you see him and you see him vibes or anything like that, you see KG vibes. Is he like that in real life? Is he like, is that his real personality, all that kind of stuff? I have a clip with me that I think sums up KG perfectly. This is from the travel vlog from Thailand, from Bangkok. And you see a guy negotiate. It's KG, not no longer KG, that comedian. It's KG, the negotiator. You see KG's negotiating skills, which are very good. You see his negotiating skills, and then you see how much just truly it took out of him when it comes to these negotiating skills. Take a look at this, because this is just fantastic.
There you go. There you go. That look good.
That's your match.
Yeah, come.
Nah,
see you later.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yes. You happy? You happy? I happy. Yes.
Okay.
Final.
Leave it.
He met you in the middle.
Yeah, no, but I got, what do you call it? Got to leave the negotiation. Sorry. Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
200, please.
Nah, I haven't got no more. Thank you.
200.
I got 160.
180.
Oh, don't.
165.
No. 180. Yes.
170.
I was going to say, if you get
Good luck.
170.
Yes.
170.
Yes.
170. Mato!
This is happy.
Mato! Let's be honest. The reason why that negotiation worked, yeah, I was ready to walk away from the table.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. It wasn't essential. Man United, they know we need this player. We need to walk away from the table.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Gone and gone, mate. Gone and gone. They laughed at me.
Not laughing now, are you?
Man, he's gone. He needs that rest, bro. The negotiations negotiated him, bro, and he is gone. He was murtoing, and this is what it does. This is the bit you don't see. All you lot see is vibes, moonwalk. I've got unlimited energy. You see? You see what tour does to you? Have you got it? Day 2.
Don't say day 2.
But can you do it on a hot night in Bangkok?
Yes.
How great is that? How great is that? One, he negotiated a fair price, so good for him. KG Murto says, but he negotiated so hard that he was asleep mere minutes later. Asleep mere minutes later. That's tough negotiating. So he's there mocking John Murto, going, he's out there, I want to see the expenses. He's out there in Spain and Barcelona eating paella, he's drinking sangria by the pool, relaxing, snoozing. That's exactly what you did, KG. You negotiated so hard that you fell asleep. Only KG, right? Only KG could do that. Super chat from Simran says, picture this, we could have a situation where our two best players, Ronaldo and De Jong, don't really want to be at the club. Wow. I mean, yeah, ended on a bit of a downer that, didn't it? But, yeah. Nevertheless. Anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Still no Lisandro Martinez. Here we go, or Ornstein exclusive about him. As I mentioned, if we do get one, I'll be back at some point this evening to discuss it once if it does happen. If not, tomorrow, there's going to be no morning show, by the way, tomorrow. There's no 9 a.m. show because, of course, we've got the match view. We've got the match view inside UVHQ. It's going to be Marcel and myself bringing you through the game. Plus, we'll have full coverage, of course, out there in Melbourne as well. Flex and KG are going to be inside the stadium. They're going to be sharing their views. They're going to be doing all the stuff you saw in Bangkok, but even more. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Smash a like on the like button as well. And also, if you do wish to join the UV Members Club, you can do so by clicking the link in the video description or also clicking the pinned comment in the live chat as well. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Peace.